Iran's journey toward becoming a significant military power, capable of challenging Israel and the US, began from a period of relative weakness and dependence. Historically, before the 20th century, Iran, formerly Persia, was an empire with a rich cultural and political history, but by the late 19th and early 20th centuries, it became vulnerable to foreign influence, particularly from Britain and Russia. The state's military capabilities were outdated, and the central government struggled to assert control over its own territory. During the reign of the Qajar dynasty, 1794 to 1925, Iran had a weak, underdeveloped military and economy. The country faced repeated foreign interventions, ceding territories to Russia and falling under British and Russian spheres of influence. By the early 20th century, Iran was a fragmented state with no real ability to defend itself against powerful foreign forces. Under Reza Shah, 1925 to 1941, and later his son Mohammad Reza Shah, 1941 to 1979, Iran sought to modernize its military and economy. The Pahlavi dynasty invested heavily in military equipment, purchasing weapons from the US and other Western nations. Iran's military was modernized, but it remained reliant on foreign support for arms and expertise. This period saw Iran become a key ally of the US in the Middle East, but the country was not yet able to project independent power or pose a significant military challenge to major world powers. The Islamic Revolution in 1979 radically changed Iran's military and political landscape. The overthrow of the Shah's regime and the establishment of the Islamic Republic led to the isolation of Iran from its previous Western allies. The new revolutionary government purged many of the Shah's military officers, creating chaos and uncertainty within the armed forces. Almost immediately after the revolution, Iran faced a major external challenge in the form of the Iran-Iraq War, 1980 to 1988. Iraqi leader Saddam Hussein, backed by the US and regional powers, invaded Iran, betting that the new government's instability would lead to a quick victory. However, this war became a defining moment for Iran's military evolution. The Iran-Iraq War was a grueling 8-year conflict that tested Iran's resilience and forced the country to rethink its military strategy. With limited access to foreign weapons due to sanctions and international isolation, Iran had to adapt. This period of hardship taught Iran several crucial lessons. 1. Self-reliance. Iran could no longer depend on Western arms. It had to develop its own defense industry. The war pushed Iran to invest in indigenous military production, including the development of missiles and drones. 2. Asymmetric warfare. Lacking the conventional military power to match Iraq's larger, better-equipped army, Iran turned to unconventional tactics, including guerrilla warfare, the use of martyrdom, suicide, missions, and the mobilization of volunteer forces like the Basij. 3. Strategic depth through proxy forces. Iran began to support and build alliances with non-state actors and militias across the region, including Hezbollah in Lebanon, to extend its influence and create deterrent forces beyond its borders. After the Iran-Iraq War, Iran focused on rebuilding its military on these principles of self-reliance and asymmetric warfare. The establishment of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps became central to this transformation. The IRGC, especially its elite Quds force, became a key player in projecting Iran's influence through proxy groups in the Middle East. Iran also began developing its missile program, understanding that missiles could serve as a powerful deterrent. Iran's ballistic missile arsenal grew rapidly, allowing it to target US bases in the region and Israeli cities. These missiles became a low-cost, high-impact weapon that could deter more advanced military forces. Through decades of sanctions, isolation, and external threats, Iran emerged as a regional power capable of challenging Israel and the US. How? 1. Missile capability. Iran now possesses one of the largest ballistic missile arsenals in the Middle East. Its missiles can reach Israel and US military bases in the Gulf, creating a significant deterrent. 2. Asymmetric warfare expertise. Iran's ability to wage asymmetric warfare through proxy groups like Hezbollah in Lebanon, Shiite militias in Iraq, And the Houthis in Yemen gives it strategic depth and the ability to strike its enemies indirectly. 3. Self-reliance in military technology. Iran's sanctions-forced innovation has resulted in a robust domestic military-industrial complex, including drones, missile technology, and cyber warfare capabilities. 4. Regional influence. Iran's regional alliances and proxy forces act as a buffer, allowing Iran to project power far beyond its borders. This network also serves as a deterrent to Israeli or U.S. military strikes, as any attack on Iran could trigger responses from its ally groups across the region.